We're about to get underway.
Meanwhile, Baltas' teammate is there on the outside of the front row. Earnchu on pole and a gap for Alcoba through fifth, but in fact it's going to be Carlos Tatai who will storm through that gap left by Alesview. What a start from the race one winner, Carlos Tatai. Marches into the lead, but Earnchu from pole position is tucked in behind him and he's going to look for a move into turn one to take the whole shot, which he duly does, squirreling from left to right. Will he get it stopped? Just about. He'll take the whole shot. Earnchu leads through the first sector, and for a third time View leads, and for a third time the bikers quit on him. That is that for Alesview. No third time lucky for him. A shake of the head, disappointment for the number 81 at the high side in earlier in the day, but back at the front his teammate is fighting through. There goes Barry Baltas under the inside of Carlos Tatai. Meanwhile, Earnchu out front is looking fairly strong. Oh, baller in the background. That looks like a couple of riders gone down. No indication of who it is just yet. It certainly wasn't any of the guys in the leading group, but that was at turn 4, I think it was. Now into turn 5, Earnchu still leads with Baltas there in third, and Alcoba now up to third.
Yeah, just the start Dennis Earnchu wanted before the red flag in race one. This is exactly what he did. Got to the front, and now he's looking to pull away, and it's Barry Baltas, the man who was technically second on the grid for this race start, and Alcoba, your championship leader, chasing him down in third with Tatai, who nearly got the lead. Well, he did get the lead, but he got shoved out the way from Earnchu into turn 1, is 4th place.
Julian Giral was the man that went down at turn 4 during the opening stages. Meanwhile, there goes Alcoba looking for a race win after it was snatched from him, you could possibly argue cruelly, in the first race of the day here in Barcelona. He's got a job on his hands because Earnchu is looking pretty strong. He's now finally getting the opportunity to show the pace that he showed in qualifying.
Yeah, there is Julian Giral, who we've just mentioned has crashed at turn 4 on the opening lap. But we see Earnchu with a 0.2 second gap. Let's see what the goal to the line increased. No, 1.2 seconds. And again, Artigas, he's up to 5th. Another great start for the young Spaniard, the number 24 there on the Leopard machine. Is he going to make a move on Tatai for 4th place? Late on the brakes. Ooh, that's tight. I don't think he is, as Barry Baltas nearly gets hold of Dennis Earnchu, and it's Alcoba now in the lead of the race.
There we go, a quick shot of Alesview stomping back towards the garage. A day to forget for him. But at the front, Barry Baltas could be on course for a day to remember, because if he can get the better of Alcoba in this one, who currently leads, he will hold the championship lead into Aragon. But at the moment, Alcoba's out front, looking for the first victory here in Barcelona after having to settle for 3 podium finishes in a row, going all the way back to last year.
Yeah, we've got a front group of 7 forming the Gerard Ryu on the Mako Racing team. Number 67 just saw him there, firing his way down into now turn 6 and 7. Flicking right for 8 as Alcoba leads the pack from Dennis Earnchu and Barry Baltas into the fast sweeping turn 9, and down to turn 10 we go for one of the most popular overtaking spots on the track. Is anyone going to make a move this lap though? Dennis Earnchu pulls out the slipstream. I think he's going to take the lead from Alcoba, who's broke latest. That's close. Alcoba took a look. I think he's right though.
Yeah, very late on the brakes was Earnchu. Opportunity possibly to squeeze back under the inside. Meanwhile, Artigas again is making his way through. There goes Alcoba wide. It's going to allow Earnchu and Baltas to squeeze through as a result of that mistake at turn 12. Artigas now in a good look. Oh, that's a proper lunge coming from Carlos Tatai. Won the opening race of the year full of confidence, and he had a big look up the inside as they went into turn 13. In fact, it's cost him dearly because now his teammate Stefano Nepper has squeezed back past him. So it's Earnchu that will lead over the line with 2 laps completed. Alcoba tucked in behind him though, as is Baltas as well, as he swings from right to left across Alcoba and Baltas. Fortunately, no contact.
Tatai looking at the inside of his teammate there, but can't quite get it done. As Earnchu weaving all over the place there on the front straight, but it works. He holds his lead in turn 1 as Alcoba moves into turn 2 past Baltas again. Earnchu running slightly wide there, but he's kept the line, so he still holds the race leader pole sitter. Like we've mentioned before, an incredibly important race for the number 53 after the disastrous start to his day here, and disastrous opening couple of rounds in the FIM-CV in 2019. Alcoba looks, but not quite.
We've got a leading group of 8 riders now, all the way back to Ayuso Yamanaka in 8th place. That is number 23, David Pizzoli. So disappointment for him, apart from the Leopard squad, but they have got Xavi Artigas in that front group at the moment. Pizzoli was on the podium in Valencia last time out, but that's now his third crash of the season for the Italian. Meanwhile, as we mentioned, Yamanaka on the back of the group. He was one of the race winners in Valencia last time out, and he did it from a similar position. He was a long way back on the grid, but eventually battled his way through. So are we going to see a similar performance this time around? There's Artigas with a big look up the inside. Tatai looking to move around the outside. Is he going to find a way through? Artigas is trying to hold on, and he's going to run wide here and surely at turn 12, which allows Tatai to finally get the job done and move into 4th place. Well, those two scrapping has just still allowed Ernchu, Alcoba and Baltas to edge ever so slightly clear now.
Yeah, like you say, ever so slightly clear, 3/10 gap, but I'm pretty sure that will be made back up on this straight with the slipstream effect coming into play, but it gets squiggly on the exit. Who runs back with Link? Here comes Stefano Nepper, his teammate, yeah, as Alcoba pulls out the slipstream for Ernchu. Is it going to be Barry Baltas, though, the third place man? Coming up the inside, who's latest on the brakes? I think it's his championship leader, Alcoba, as Dennis Ernchu slipped to third behind Stefano and his fellow KTM rider Baltas.
Alcoba now back at the front, Baltas in second. This is exactly as we saw in the first race. Is that Izam Ikmal? He went down in the first race and he's gone down again. Izam Ikmal, part of the Sepang International Circuit Junior squad. Another crash for him, disappointment for the young Malaysian. Back at the front though, as we said, just like it was earlier in the day, Alcoba and Baltas battling at the front. Tatai's in there as well. That's one of the junior talent team's
Noguchi,
squad.
I think, is it?
It is, Haruki Noguchi, after a great ride through to 5th place, I think it was, in the opening race of the day. Technical problems for the Japanese rider. Oh, in fact, no, a crash. He's got tagged up with, who was that? Was that Holgado? Yeah, I think it was. Number 96 of Holgado's gone down as well. So the young Spaniard and the young Japanese rider were both out of contention early on in this one. So suddenly, the junior team Estella Galizia gone down from 3 riders just to 1, but fortunate for them, it's the number 6 of Yamanaka who's slowly but surely creeping up the order. He's now up to 7th ahead of Gerard Rio, as here comes Artigas, big look up the inside, and gets his own back on. Carlos Tatai after he dusted him up a lap previous.
Yeah, that was brave from the number 24 rider, but bravery normally prevails, and he is now up to 4th with Dennis Ernchu 3rd and Alcoba leading from Baltas. As, yeah, like I say, Tatai just moving out to Artigas there. But going back to Yamanaka, he won the race in Valencia, with the second race in Valencia from a last lap move from the injured Yuki Kuni. So yeah, he's well up for a battle into the latter stages is Yamanaka. We didn't really see him feature in race 1, so this is good from the number 6 rider at the back of this group.
Here comes Baltas. I thought he was going to have a big lunge up the inside into turn 1, but that Husqvarna of Alcoba looks strong out front, as does the Ion KTM, although you would expect that from a full factory squad like that, from Dennis Ernchu motoring past the KTM, the other KTM, should I say, of Barry Baltas. Meanwhile, the Honda of Xavi Artigas just holding on in 4th place, despite running ever so slightly wide. Those guys in 4th just need to be careful that they don't allow this trio to break clear. They have got 0.3 of a second from Baltas' rear wheel to Artigas' front wheel at that last checkpoint. So Artigas is closing in now, so we are going to be back to the leading group of 8, despite that lunge from Stefano Nepper on the inside of his teammate Tatai.
Yeah, the two teammates are definitely duffing each other up here in the opening stages of race 2 here in Barcelona, but back at the front is Alcoba, who leads the freight train. There's the top 4, Artigas out of the back of that, just getting a slight advantage over Tatai. As we've just mentioned, Tatai and his teammate Nepper battling it out in these opening stages with Gerard Rio at the rear of the group, the number 67 there. Who is going to make a move? Is it Dennis Ernchu for the lead? Artigas, that's a brave move again from the number 24 rider, but he makes it stick. And Ernchu is now your race leader.
I thought Artigas had got that all wrong there, just the way it was squirreling for a moment. You thought, oh no, he's going to collect a couple of the riders in front of him, but he got it stopped, he got it done. He's up to 3rd place now, just like we saw early in the day. Slowly but surely he's picked off place after place, and he's now into the fight for the lead. Is Xavi Artigas, and he's got Ernchu and Alcoba to deal with ahead of him. Let's see the power of the Honda in the World Championship. We've seen it's been by far and away stronger than the KTMs, but here in the Junior World Championship, KTMs look just a little bit stronger than the Honda, because he's just been motored past. Although here comes Yamanaka on a Honda himself. Can he get up the inside of Baltas? No, he can't. There's a change for the lead. There goes Ernchu. Wide goes Artigas. Opportunity for Baltas and Yamanaka on the flick back to get back under the inside, but he just about holds on. 4th place for him, but Eunchu back at the front.
Yeah, what did we have there? About 3, 4, 5 riders abreast going into turn 1. Absolutely epic racing as we're now seen in this FIM Junior Moto3 World Championship. But it's Dennis Eunchu, your pole sitter, who leads the race once more from Alcoba, Baltus and Artigas as we come into turn 5 left-hander. Artigas again looking at the inside and he makes it stick. Great move. Does he run wide? I don't think he does. Nice move from the reigning European Talent Cup champion, who now has his sights set on the number 52 of Alcoba.
He's so good on the brakes as Artigas. We've seen it in this race and the one previous as well. At turn 10 and at turn 5. Every lap he's able to squeeze up the inside on the brakes of someone else, regardless of who's in front of him.
Yeah, it really is. And I think we'll watch it down in turn 10. The last 2 laps he's made a move stick very cleanly, so I think he's going to look to do it again on Alcoba, or is it going to be for the race lead? He's going to get 2 in 1. No, not quite, but he does get Alcoba again. Like you say, Jack, incredibly strong on the brakes from the number 24 Leopard racing rider.
Loves that move into turn 10. He just parks it at the apex. It's not good for a fast lap, but it's good for picking up places in this race. And he's now made his way through to second. Eunchu coming under pressure.
Yeah, coming on to complete the lap. It might not be the quickest way around, Jack, but he's not doing bad to stick in second so far. And can he get into first? Let's see what the Strictly can do. The Honda right in the tailpipes of Dennis Eunchu gets in, but we see the Husqvarna of Alcoba and Baltus swarming, and there's Yamanaka and Stefano Nepa. They're all at it. Who's going to lead into turn 1?
Yamanaka got the best run out of there. He had a 4-rider slipstream ahead of him, and as a result he can pick up 2 places. Eunchu's wide, Alcoba's ever so slightly wide as well, but he just about holds on as they're swapping places for fun here, and somehow Yamanaka's popped out in 3rd place. Artigas squeezing on the inside of Baltus there, but he eventually gave best to the Belgian, so somehow Eunchu leads, but I don't think it's going to be for long. Here comes Artigas again, looking up the inside of Baltus, but no way through. And from nowhere, as mentioned a couple of laps ago, Yamanaka on the back of the group in 8th.
What's Alcoba doing there?
Keep your eye on him, because he's going to make his way through. That's exactly what he's done. Artigas, there he goes, squeezing up into 4th. No, he's not. Baltus is stronger, so he has to remain in 5th place.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye now at Yamanaka, and Alcoba was there as well. I'm not sure what he's doing, looking behind him into turn 5, but all you'll see is 6 riders fiercely battling it out behind him. But yeah, Eunchu leading the race.
One man we've not mentioned in quite a while is Carlos Tata. He won the first race of the day, but he seems quite comfortable in a rhythm there in 6th place, possibly just watching what's going on ahead of us. Here comes Alcoba, he'll hit the front now, not for the first time today, and right on cue, there's Carlos Tatai making a move for 5th place, as is Barry Baltus as well, so it's all change at the front with Tatai, Baltus and Alcoba making a move. Oh, it's not the first time that Alcoba's done that, but ever so slightly wide again. And that is an absolute carbon copy, because last time both Eunchu and Baltus were able to squeeze back past, and they've done it again.
Yeah, Baltus not holding back there, taking full advantage. Eunchu going through, and then Baltus taking no prisoners as well. He's going through at the same time as we see Tatai duffing up Artigas at Artigas's spot, shall we say, at turn 10, getting his taste of his own medicine. But who is going to lead into turn 1? Eunchu currently, but Alcoba's there, Baltus is there. Is it going to be Yamanaka?
6 abreast into turn 1. Yamanaka looks favourite, but it's Eunchu on the brakes that'll hold on to it. Yamanaka
Goes that way.
Oh, that is Stefano Nepa has had to run a long way wide, so he will rejoin. Well, surely he's not going to get a penalty for that, because he's imposed a penalty on himself. I don't think he had a long lap penalty imposed on him. Meanwhile, who's that? Nicola Carraro is getting a taxi ride back after an off on one board the TM. He's the teammate to Kevin Zanoni. But back at the front, we'll concentrate on the fight for the lead, because with 8 riders all scrapping it out, or possibly 7 now with Stefano Nepa shuffled out of contention. It's still Eunchu that leads. Baltus is there in 2nd, Alcoba 3rd, and Yamanaka, after being 3rd half a lap ago, is now back in 6th place.
Yeah, it's definitely a group of 7 now after that mistake from Stefano Nepa. Is that Alcoba going to be inside? No, not quite. Eyes seem to be there going down into turn 9, but heading to turn 10 again. Who is going to make a move stick?
Baltus
We've seen it
drive.
every lap. He has, hasn't he? But Alcoba pops out from the bubble.
He's going to look up the inside, does Baltus,
Artigas,
but as is Alcoba as well, from 3rd to 1st. Alcoba hits the front, he's going to run wide. Opportunity for Baltus to move straight back patch, which he duly does. And Eunchu now back in 3rd place. Oh, what a race we've got on here. Baltus hits the front, Alcoba there as well. But do not rule out the likes of Artigas, Tatai and Yamanaka. And we've barely mentioned Gerard Riou. It feels like he's just hanging on at the back of this group, but there's moves coming from him.
Absolutely, he's just sitting there licking his lips saying, you can do your stuff, boys, duff each other up and I'll pick up the pieces. But here he is, Bautas, heading the group into turn 1, but as we've seen almost every lap like we do with turn 10, there's going to be changes. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Dennis Ernst late on the brakes? I think it's going to be Alcoba who's going to hold it.
Well, that live championship has absolutely no chance of keeping up with the moves that are going on. As it stood about, what, 2 corners ago, it was Alcoba leading by 4 points, and now that's changed because there's a points differential of a point between Alcoba and Bautas at the front, so it's stated it is 6 points, but with 8 laps to go, we'll throw that out the window. We'll concentrate on that once they cross the checkered flag. A bit of a mistake, a bit of a bobble from Artigas, but just about holds on. Alcoba and Bautas have got themselves a little bit of room there. Ernchu is pumping his legs as he goes down the box into turn 5. He will be slightly concerned with the fact that those two are just starting to break clear.
Yeah, I was going to mention, sorry Jack, I was going to mention that because it was literally coming out in turn 1 and turn 2 where they got the gap, so I'm not sure what went wrong for the guys behind, but yeah, Alcoba and Bautas 0.3 lead over Ernchu now, which is the biggest it's ever been, so...
But as we've seen before, once they get onto the start-finish straight, that
will that's going to diminish.
Back in again. Here comes Bautas again, looking up the inside.
Oh, that's going to be tight, that's tight, sorry, wow.
3 riders trying to get into one space. It was Yamanaka, it was Ernchu and Carlos Tatai, all going for the same bit of tarmac, and it's Ernchu and Tatai that have come out as the big losers in that one. They move way out of contention now, back to what, 6th and 8th place, as Nepper's managed to get in front of his teammate Carlos Tatai. So with 8 laps to go now, 7 laps remaining. Big challenge for Ernchu, and again, so quickly, he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time once again. And after being in contention for the race win, it looks like now a race win is possibly still too far out of reach from now. He is a long way back.
Yeah, 7 laps to go, and there's still enough time for him to catch up, of course, but it's a tall order, and yeah, like you say, that was so close for a disaster for Ernchu and for Tatai.
Somehow they all stayed on though. Meanwhile, that incident has allowed this front 3 to break clear. Almost just like we saw in race 1, where an incident again involving Ernchu saw the 3 at the front break clear. It's Alcoba, Bautas, and this time Artigas at the front. Artigas was one that was caught up in an incident right here at turn 5 when Aleix Riou was spat over the top in a monster high side. This time Artigas has stayed out of trouble.
Let's see it again then, what happened?
So it was the move from Yamanaka who got it all wrong, and Ernchu was already shuffled out from Artigas. And then after getting an elbow off Artigas, he then got another elbow, this time coming from Yamanaka and Carlos Tatai.
Raul Fernandez looking on there, the reigning champion.
Meanwhile, back at the front, the leading trio are a 1.5 clear. But with 7 laps remaining, if they continue to fight in the same manner as we've seen over the first 9 laps of this one, then there's every chance that Yamanaka, Riou and the rest behind can close right back in on the rear once again.
Artigas really does love that turn 10. He looks every single lap like he's going to make a move. We didn't quite get it done there, but as we come across the line, it will be 6 laps to go now, and it looks like these 3 are going to be the ones challenging for the win and the podium, but let's not predict anything because anything can happen, as we've seen already numerous times today. And here comes Bautas out of the slipstream behind the Husqvarna. Is he going to make a move into turn 1, or is it going to be Artigas putting out the double slipstream? Let's see who's going to be late on the brakes. I think it's going to be Alcoba. Yes, it is. Nicely done from your race leaders. Ernchu now moves up into 4th place. He has got his eyes set on the, well, a seriously important podium for him. If not, 4th place is going to have to do for the turn.
He needs to get himself onto the podium, Ernchu, knowing the importance of it. 2.2 seconds away from Artigas. For me, with 5.5 laps remaining, it's just a stretch too far for the Turk. He's been so unlucky again just to get caught up in the wrong incident. But unfortunately, that's the way it goes. A big look over the shoulder from Alcoba. That's interesting. He's only just come across the start-finish line to see that the gap behind is +0. Quite possibly he didn't get the information on his board that it was a group of 3, so he was possibly not looking at Bautas or the 24 of Artigas. He was just looking to see how far away Earnshaw and the rest are in 4th place, and I'm sure he'll be quite pleased to see that instead of having 6 or 7 men to deal with, he's only got the 2. Not that that makes his challenge any easier.
Of course, yeah, and that's exactly where he looked over a few laps ago as well, so he obviously feels comfortable looking over his shoulder there. Here we go, Artigas at his favourite turn 10, moves past Boutus into 2nd place. Another spot-on move from the reigning European Talent Cup champion, who now has his sights set on the championship leader in first. Can he do it? Let's find out.
He's pin perfect every time from Artigas. He looks so good, just 15 years of age, as is Barry Baltus as well. Meanwhile, that's Adrian Fernandez just getting a word in his ear. I'm sure he will do very shortly from his brother Raul Fernandez there. A fist pump, disappointment for him. He's had to pull down pit lane. Look at this guy on Friday. This is the battle with Kevin Tononi, all for a top 10 place, and only 10th at the moment. That goes all the way back to quite possibly
All 3 resting to turn 1, Jack.
It is Baltus up the inside. My attention drawn ever so slightly by the battle for 10th, but I'll keep my eyes focused on the screen in front of us, because blinking you'll miss it. Stuff here at the front of the Junior World Championship, live from Barcelona. Baltus leads with Jeremy Alcoba in 2nd and Xavi Artigas in 3rd. These 3 are now well clear after an incident involving Yamanaka, Earnshaw and Tatai. Fortunately, nobody went down, but it did give these trio the opportunity to break clear, an opportunity of duly accepted. Now 2.5 seconds on the road from that man, Dennis Earnshaw, the number 53, in the background on board the Red Bull KTM. But 4.5 laps remaining. P1, the 25 points, is going to be decided between these 3 riders.
Yeah, just confirmation on our screens in the brakes too of Stefano Leopard not getting the time penalty for when he ran wide at turns 1 and 2, so that's good to see. As Alcoba again looks over his shoulder, concentrate on the road ahead.
Yeah, that is strange. That gives you the feeling or the impression that he's not that confident. The fact that he's constantly looking over his shoulder, either the fact that he's nervous, he's not confident, but Baltus out front or even Artigas, you would have to imagine once they hit the front, I don't think you get any of those sort of antics. They will have their head down and away they go. And when you've got someone in front of you and a man behind you, as he will know as well, because he's got his pit wall last time around to say plus, he's already had a look to know that there's nobody closing in on them. Don't worry about them, you just worry about the men in front of you.
Yeah, I totally agree, Jack, but he's obviously doing it for a reason, so, and it's working. He's in 2nd, so let's see if he can get the run to the line. It'll be interesting if they can get the run to the line before the checkered flag. He almost did it there, so that's going to be important on the final lap as Baltus leads into turn 1.
Well, he got the run out to the final corner in the first race and took the checkered flag, but the penalty imposed on him saw him shuffled down to 3rd place. So he has got a bit better after that one as Jeremy Alcoba. Bitterly disappointed in Parc Ferme. You could possibly put an argument together to argue quite rightly so. He was unlucky to get the time penalty.
Look at this gaggle.
And this is the fight for 10th place. Now he's actually
28.
Yeah, Max Koffler now leading that one, and Bertelli's the man in. Where is he? Matteo Bertelli is quite a long way down the order. 12th.
He's in the Cavallada somewhere.
But with a 1.8 second penalty coming his way, you can pretty much count him out of finishing inside the top 10. He might come across the line in 10th, but with then about 9 or 10 riders, all within a second behind him, he could quickly shuffle down outside of the point.
Yeah, down to 19th is Jason Pasquet, who was in that gaggle, so yeah, looking like there's no point on the board for Bertelli, but back at the front is still Alcoba leading from Baltus and Artigas, and unfortunately for Dennis Earnshaw, I don't think he's going to make up this time to the podium, so 4th place, unfortunately for the turn. Well, he's down to 5th now, because Carlos Tatai's got the better of him, but here comes Artigas and Baltus, 3 abreast in turn 10. It's going to be Artigas. No, not quite. Baltus who takes the lead, but can Artigas get 2nd? No, Alcoba holds it around the outside, but a good move there from the number 7.
Yeah, he takes the lead as he has done. All 3 of those riders have had their opportunity at leading in this one. We're into the final sector of the lap now. They'll flick right into turn 13 before final turn 14. The penalty gone the way of Jason Pasquier, 19th at the moment, so for 1.1 second penalty, he won't be finishing inside the points. But the big question is who's going to pick up the 25 points in this one? Alcoba and Baltus side by side. That Husqvarna has some real grunt on it. He has motored past the KTM of Barry Baltus there, and the Honda of Artigas looks pretty good as well, but the Husqvarna not.
Oh, that's a side for
That's well. Contact between Gerard Riel and Carlos Tatai, but just about hang on which of them is going to come out on top into turn 3. Gerard Riel just holding on, but Around the outside goes Tatai and Yamanaka as well in this fight for 5th place, because Ernchu is just out front to the fight for 4th. But back at the front, Alcoba leads from Baltus and Artigas. Meanwhile, the scrap continues behind for 5th and 4th.
Yeah, Benny's Ernchu getting a little bit of a gap there. Oh, that was tight. Is Artiga's going to make a move into turn 5? I think he is. Not quite. Baltus shuts the door on him. Well played from the number 7 of Baltus, but again, it's Alcoba leads, and your guess is as good as mine, Jack, who's going to win this race, because this is going to go right down to the wire.
Xavi Artigas aiming for his first win in the Junior World Championship after winning the European Talent Cup last year. Barry Baltus won in Estoril. Meanwhile, Jeremy Alcoba hasn't stood on the top step of the Junior World Championship podium in over 2.5 years. It was the final round of 2017 when he last tasted success. Meanwhile, Husqvarna haven't tasted success since the final round of 2016. But he might have to wait a little bit longer, because there goes Barry Baltus back up the inside. Artigas looking on as Alcoba fights back straight away to retake the lead. Next time they come around, there's just going to be 2 laps remaining.
Yeah, Alcoba there just holding on to the front, switching it back after Baltus went for the move at turn 10 as we come across the line with 2 laps to go.
You would have to fancy Xavi Artigas if he can get himself into 2nd on the last lap.
Yes,
he's looked
100%.
so good into turn 10, and in fact he's quite happy to stay there in 3rd place. He put his legs out there just to make sure that he blocked some of the slipstream, slowed himself down. He doesn't want to lead, and again you can see him putting his elbows out, just bobbing above the bubble. He's quite happy there in 3rd place. That is interesting with 2 laps to go. He clearly feels confident.
I was going to say that is pure confidence from the youngster there in the battle with 2 more experienced riders in front of him. Not that much more, but well, Alcoba a lot more experienced than the number 24. But yeah, showing great signs of maturity there. Just to stay calm, 2 laps to go. You're in the battle for the race lead. Don't do anything silly, as we see Ernchu still leading that gaggle for 4th.
Not sure of his maturity. If he had just 1 man in front of him and he felt he had the pace, then maybe I can see the tactics. But with 2 men in front of him, with just a lap and a half remaining, it's easier said than done to make a move on 2 people. Maybe he feels he can get the slipstream and draft his way past into the final corner, into the first corner, sorry, on the last lap, and then he's got the pace to pull away from there. We'll have to wait and see. But we're coming round into turn 9 for the penultimate time, and Alcoba has himself a bit of a lead there. Some good run through 7 and 8 from Alcoba, and Baltus isn't in touching distance. He's going to close in with the slipstream and look for a move up the inside, but it's not going to be enough. Alcoba's going to hold on. Unless there's a lunge during the stadium sector on this penultimate lap, it will be the number 52 to lead us out onto the final lap. Meanwhile, Ernchu holds on to 4th place. He has got Tatai and Yamanaka for company in the battle for 4th. It would be a best finish of the season and a long overdue top 5 finish for Dennis Ernchu so far this year. But we will be concentrating on the trio at the front. Alcoba will lead us across the line with Baltus behind and Artigas tucked in 3rd. The fight for the win is going to go down to the wire here in Barcelona. 3 riders to battle it out. There's the battle for 4th place, but let's see what's happening at the front on the way into the first corner. Here it is, Baltus and Artigas all in line astern. They now spread out, and Baltus will look up the inside, but no way through. Alcoba's strong, so we'll hold it through turns 1 and 2 on the final lap.
Yeah, Alcoba incredibly strong there on the brakes. I thought Artigas was going to try and take a look, but no, he bobbed up just before the 2 in front of him. So where are the race leaders going to make their move? It's turn 4, a good opportunity for Baltus. He's tucked in the slipstream, but is he going to make a move here? Not sure he will. Let's have a look. No, Alcoba's going to keep it with Artigas just off the back.
That is the Leglis Academy squad with one of the men in there hoping for divine intervention to help Jeremy Alcoba across the line here. Artigas has just been tailed off the back. A bit of a bobble into turn 4 means that he's out of touching distance now. His tactics haven't paid off after slowing himself down the start-finish straight. It looks at the moment as if it's going to come down to these 2, Baltus and Alcoba, with Alcoba just holding on. I paused because I just thought for a second Baltus was going to make a lunge. It's going to come down to turn 10. Baltus much closer than he was last time around. A good run out of turn 9 is what he's got as well, tuck in behind the 52. We've seen the Husqvarna be strong. It's a defensive line held from Alcoba. Is the room around the outside for Baltus? Alcoba late on the brakes. Is he going to run wide? He's just about going to hold us. Here comes Baltus. Can he dive through at turn 11? No way through there. Alcoba holds on. Only 3 corners remaining. We're into turn 12. Alcoba still holding on. Baltus is surely going to make a move though. Into the penultimate corner now, just 1 to go. He's going to come down to the run towards the line unless Baltus can get a dive under here. He looks up the inside, no way through as that cost him his run towards the line. The number 52 after a penalty cost him victory earlier in the day. Finally, Alcoba has his revenge and takes the victory he should have had earlier in the day. The number 52 with his first win of the season, and Baltas again has to settle for second place, beaten out by Tatai in the earlier race, this time by Alcoba. And as a result, he extends his championship lead to Jeremy Alcoba. A great ride from Xavi Artigas. The young man onto the podium once again for the second time this season. So here is confirmation of the results with Alcoba in P1. Only just ahead, 52 thousandths of a second, the narrowest of margins ahead of Barry Baltas. Xavi Artigas not far behind as well. A good ride from him up to third place. A mistake that we didn't unfortunately see from Earnshaw on the final lap meant that although he held fourth place, he eventually got shuffled back to 8th in the KTM rider, with Carlos Tatai making it a win and a fourth place from the 2 races today. A good day's work for him. Further down the field, Max Koffler took 10th place in that almighty scrap for the top 10. Kevin Zanoni just missing out in 11th, with Max Cook, Hikaru Arita also picking up points finishes. Good work from the junior talent team man Max Cook on his opening foray to Barcelona. Further down the field, Jason de Pasquet was one of the men to be handed a penalty and finished 19th. And after taking the checkered flag in race 1 and being handed a 1.6-second penalty to his dismay, he bounced back and got his revenge in race 2. And once again, Jeremy Alcoba is a junior world championship race winner. After what I'm sure has for him felt like an eternal wait, he is back on top.